looking for this game tomorrow?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, everyone's fit. Bar Marcus, who we're still waiting on. We've had scans. We don't think it's maybe quite as bad as first feared, but he's seen a specialist today just to get that confirmed. So we'll hold fire on whether we're happy with it or not yet. But hopefully it's not as bad as we maybe first feared.
You've talked previously about your time at the club, the success you've had in the league, the one sticking point maybe being not having a run in a cup competition with St Mirren. Does this feel like a huge opportunity tomorrow night?
Yeah, of course it is. When you get to this stage, the quarter final, then it's everything to gain. We go there confident after our start of the league season. It's a tough game. I've watched Kelly 3 times this season. It's going to be a tough task, and they've got some very, very good players. They've got a lot of physicality in the team, but also a mix of really talented boys as well, some we know very well. So we have to be at the top of our game. We weren't on Saturday. We'll have to have a better performance on Saturday to progress.
When you look at your time at Motherwell, getting to semi-finals, getting to finals, what that did for the fans, the town, the players, how much would you love to bring that to St Mirren?
Yeah, like you see the display the fans put on Saturday away at Falkirk, and what they've done during the season, the amount of effort and time and money that's spent on it. You'd love to reward them. I've said to the players, sometimes these opportunities come around once in a career. I've been very lucky that it's come around a few times, but that doesn't often happen. So you have to grab these opportunities. You have to go and be brave and play to your strengths and try and progress. We want to progress any way possible. Doesn't have to be the best performance in the world, but you have to find a way to win. And as you rightly say, it can bring a whole town together. It can really lift people's spirits. People rely on this football club. Sometimes a lot of times it's their life and what they cling on to. So we'll be doing everything in our power to make sure we're in that semi-final and we can take a big fan base to handle.
Just go back to Marcus, Steve, what scan on what?
On his ankle.
On his ankle.
On his ankle, yeah.
When you look back at your cup career, what's been your biggest frustration so far?
Probably that we get drawn against Celtic in the second round every time is usually what happens to us. So we managed to avoid that so far. That's been frustrating because we've had relative success in terms of our league position, but ultimately the best chance of winning a trophy in a season is the cup. So we've given ourselves an opportunity. We feel like we've earned this opportunity because it's been a long time to make, and we've started right at the early rounds and had some really good performances, some that can be better. And it's an opportunity for both sides. Kilmarnock will feel exactly the same, and Stuart will see it as a big opportunity at home. So we have to cope with them. As I said, I've watched a lot of Killy. It's my local team, so I get to see them drag my wife along every Sunday to watch them lately. So it would be nice to get one over on them. But as I say, we have to be right at the very top of our game to progress.
How different are Stuart Kettlewell's Killy to Derek McInnes's Kilmarnock?
I believe everyone's got their own style and puts their own slant on it. Obviously different players. The two strikers are been a big success for them. I think they're a real handful, the two of them. As much as they give them physicality, they're also technically very good as well. So it's there's obvious differences. Stuart's got his way of playing, Derek's got his way of playing, and there's no right way or wrong way. But either way, it's always a difficult task to go to Killy. On the surface. It'll be a nighttime game. There'll be a huge crowd there as well, which we're really looking forward to. So we've faced Stuart's teams before, so we know what we'll expect.
I did a wee bit of research. I think it's about 12 years since St Mirren have won at Kilmarnock. There's a lot of draws in there though. Does that point to maybe another long night down there?
I don't know. I think that you can look back at history. It's hard to compare like for like when different squads of players, different managers, different styles, different times. So it's going to be a tight game, no doubt. As I say, I think the two sides are very, very close, very similar systems. So it's going to be who performs on the night and perhaps who has a little bit of luck along the way as well.
Just to be clear, Stephen, is Mark's definitely out for tomorrow, yeah?
Yes.
Definitely, but you just wait for the scan to see extent.
Yeah, we just see the extent of it, today.
Sorry, no.
I was going to say, the lad King comes in and kind of shows that you can deputise for him if needs be.
Yeah, I thought Kingy's been excellent. People question me a little bit when I left him back out of the team again. He's played a lot of football. He hasn't had a break. We've given him that break and sort of educated him what we wanted from him, and he's come back in again and been superb. There's a good chance he's probably end up going to the World Cup as well with Jamaica. They've had a fantastic run under Steve McLaren. So we hope that he will continue progressing. We believe we've got a real find. We believe he's a really top talent, and perhaps we could have a couple of players going to the World Cup. Keanu Bacchus has fallen away from the Australian squad, but the new manager, he'll know as well and better than I do all his players. But Keanu's really back to form now. He's a boy that I envisage if Australia qualify, could be another boy going to the World Cup. So we're delighted to have him back. And when you've got the players of his calibre, Killian Phillips, Richard King, as you rightly mentioned, all international footballers, then it shows the progress we're making.
How do you scout a player like Richard King?
I actually had a chance to sign him before that, but we were in a little bit of a sticky run, I believe, around about Christmas time, and we decided just to keep monitoring the situation. We were very lucky because I believe there was a large bid turned down from the MLS in January last year, and we managed to get him for buttons really further down the line. Their club believed that we were a really good platform, and Richard's grabbed that with both hands now. So yeah, contacts. Been in the game a long time now, so I know a lot of people, and I'm lucky enough to maintain that relationship that they'll pick up the phone to me and alert me to certain things.
What did you make of Chris Sutton's lumpet comments in terms of St Mirren's style of play?
I didn't see them. People always like to tell you good news, so I got told some of it, but listen, everyone's got an opinion and everyone's entitled to it.
Did it take you by surprise, or given the style would you defend your style of play?
I don't actually care. To be honest with you, I'm very confident in what I do. You don't get 400 league games if you don't know what you're doing, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. So that's it.
A wee bit harsh though, wasn't it? I mean, if you watch them regularly, some of us do, then that doesn't seem to be the accurate description.
Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion, so that's what people are paid for, to try and stay relevant, and it doesn't bother me too much, to be honest.
Stephen Stewart thought his team was on the wrong end of a decision at the weekend, the handball that went in Celtic's favour. Are you guys clear on what constitutes a handball in that situation?
I have to agree. I heard Stuart talking about it. We did get told that things like that probably wouldn't be penalties, so there remains a little bit of confusion. If you were on the end of that decision, you'd be highly unlucky, highly disappointed with it. There's been occasions like that where decisions have gone for us, against us. And as a manager, it's frustrating. Yeah, listen, clarity would be good on it. I'm not sure what you're expected to do. If the rules of the law state that it's a penalty, then the referees are going to stick with it. But I was on the same thinking that it was going to be, throughout the board, that things like that wouldn't be given as a penalty. But they were. You have to deal with it. Unfortunately, it's went against Kilmarnock this time. We had one goal potentially for us against Hibs. I've yet to see a picture that shows me it doesn't hit his chest yet first, so you see how difficult these decisions are for referees. But it would be good to have the clarity, and I don't think anybody wants to see penalties given for that throughout the league, I would imagine.
Going back to the weekend, I suppose looking towards tomorrow night, how important is it that when your team maybe aren't playing the best, that they still find a way to win and grind out results? Yeah, we weren't at our best first half. I don't think either were Falkirk. I looked like two teams that had their 2-week break, but we found a way, and I think that shows a huge amount of character and talent and perseverance to do that, and we could have won comfortably in the end, but it shows the strength of character. There's a lot of belief here. You don't consistently do what we are doing season after season and not know you're a good side. We believe in each other. We grouped together again at half time and just reiterated what we needed to do, and small points make big differences, and they managed to do that in the second half. So it shows what a talented bunch they are, that they can just go another extra yard, another extra % to win football matches. And how much do you think it would mean to that group of players to play at Hampden, the National Stadium? Yeah, I alluded to it earlier. Sometimes in your career you get one opportunity to do this, and it's an opportunity to get to Hampden. I've been very privileged to experience it a few times. It was one of the best days of my career when we beat Rangers and we beat Aberdeen in the 2 semi-finals at Hampden. Some of these players haven't experienced it, and it's certainly a target and a goal of ours, and we're a group of boys that are so together and have given so much to the club. It would be great, but as I've said, this is a tough game, really, really tough game, and we have to be right at the top of our form.
Cheers.
All right, cheers, thank you.